We're putting it all on the table. The AK-74U. The AK-74 for you. Is this a good gun? And should you use it? Or should you just look at the table and pretend like you're working, like this guy? Well, let's talk about it. So this is an early game weapon that I kind of have a soft spot for, because I ran this in Modern Warfare 1 when that game launched, and this was one of my favorite guns in that game. But it is an early game weapon, so it's not like it doesn't have the breakpoints you want. So long story short, if you want to run this in endgame on veteran mode, you're kind of going to want to mod the game or maybe improve the damage of it. But it is a nice looking gun. It does have some decent attachments and okay upgrades like all the early game weapons. So for the attachments, notably it does not have a high capacity magazine, and it cannot use the AK-74 high capacity magazine. I don't know why. It also can't take any like zoom optic. The only optic it accepts is the collimator sight. It can take the coupled mags and the assault rifle suppressor, not to be confused with the other assault rifle suppressor. There is a specific one for the like Russian type guns, like the Kalashnikovs and everything. So this is the one it takes. For upgrades, so for the stock, you can get aiming speed, which allows you to aim down sight faster, or moving while aiming. So moving while aiming is interesting on SMGs. This is an SMG, by the way. It's considered an SMG. It's not an assault rifle. It's interesting because they have faster moving while aiming speed over assault rifles anyways. They have slower moving while aiming speed than pistols, but this makes the aiming speed, or the moving speed while aiming, similar to a pistol, which is almost like base movement speed. Like when you ADS, most guns reduce your movement speed. It's kind of hidden. You have to like be paying attention to even notice this, but this allows it to be more like a pistol for the movement while aiming. For other upgrades, you have weight reduction, which is decent, wear and tear, which I always recommend, and then you have wear and tear from external, which isn't bad. Yeah, I think that is the issue though. You can only run one or the other. So wear and tear from external is like if you step into an anomaly or you get hit by a melee attack, these things will damage your gun. So it can be decent if you're constantly running into whirly gigs and things like this. But wear and tear and like the general stat I find to be more valuable. So if you have to choose, definitely just take the normal, because this is from shooting, and you might walk into anomalies, but if you're using a weapon, you will be shooting bullets through it. So I would say this is better. Scope mount just gets you the kilometer sight. For the barrel here, we have reduced damage drop off, which allows you to get a little bit more range, versus recoil decrease, which is also fine. This thing isn't really like a king of range, so it's not going to be super viable at range anyways. So if you want to just go with recoil, that's fine. And then bullet range again, or spread decrease. So spread decrease increases accuracy when shooting from the hip, so it gives you tighter hip fire. So getting recoil and spread actually is probably better than the range increase, because you're not going to be using this at range anyways. You can, but it's not going to be effective at range, so I don't recommend it. And then there's just a recoil decrease muzzle brake. So pretty limited on the upgrades and the attachments. They're not terrible. You can get most of these attachments early on pretty quickly. So if you want to run this for like early to middle game on veteran mode, it's fine. Let's check out these 74U breakpoints to see if this gun is for you. Now, this is an early game gun, so I'm not really holding out. That's 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so it's over 5. It's over 5 headshots. On the one that's headshot there. 6, 7, 8. Looks like 7 to 8. Let's just go full auto now. So we get a stagger after like 5 shots. That's not terrible. But obviously, for endgame weapons, it's an early game weapon. This is not surprising at all. Alright, let's switch to something else so that I have some ammo for recoil pattern testing. Let's run the UDP for no reason. Here's one more over here. see what he's up to. Dude, I can't wait for Doom Dark Age. Oh shit, there's a dude over there. Doom Dark Age seems pretty cool. Alright, let's check out this bad boy. So, recoil pattern. Pretty controllable. It rises up and to the right slightly, but in the beginning it rises up and then it starts going to the right. So if you're firing in bursts, you can just drag down. So that's not terrible. For hipfire accuracy is pretty good. Unfortunately, the gun itself just has low stats. If you run a mod that buffs it, I think you should if you want to run it. That's totally fine in my opinion. But I would run a mod to buff it if you want to use it on veteran mode or a harder difficulty if you're running mods for that. But it's a nice looking gun. It's an SMG. It does have the faster innate move speed when ADSing. So like here's move speed just like from the hip. Here's move speed ADSing. It's a little bit faster than assault rifles. Also note pistols are the fastest. So look at that pistol move speed. So that's one huge advantage of pistols that a lot of people may not know about. But yeah, that is it for this one. Definitely like and subscribe for more cool gun reviews. Peace.